Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. I, 19 female, was kicked out of my mom and stepdad's house last week because I wouldn't let my half-sister, 15 female, borrow my senior prom dress. To give some context, borrowing usually means my sister ends up ruining things, modifying them to her liking, or I just never see them again. This has been a pattern for the past year, with her constantly asking for my things and never taking care of them. For example, she borrowed one of my favorite jackets for a party last year, and when I finally got it back, it was completely stained and stretched out. Another time, she borrowed my makeup for a school dance and returned it, half empty with broken containers. This time, she wanted my senior prom dress to wear to a friend's wedding, and I said no. That dress meant a lot to me, and I didn't want it to be damaged or altered. My mom, however, was furious. She told me I was being selfish and that she raised me better than this. One thing led to another, and they told me to leave. I was living at home while attending community college, so I had nowhere to go initially. Thankfully, I've been staying at a friend's place since this happened. Now, my mom has reached out telling me I need to come back because they can't figure out childcare for my half-sister during the nights when both she and my stepdad have night shifts. I guess they never realized that I've basically been taking care of my sister for years, doing night meal prep, making sure she's fed, washed, and making sure she was okay while they were working. They're now realizing how much I've been handling, but I'm honestly hurt and upset by the whole situation. I feel like they only want me back for the free childcare, not because they've actually reconsidered how unfairly they treated me. I don't want to go back, but I also feel conflicted. Should I just stay away or go back? I'm really hurt and not sure what to do. We don't live in a particularly unsafe area, but what area is exactly that safe that a 15-year-old girl can stay home safe alone, through the night, night after night? Update. I decided to go back home. We sat down and talked. I made it clear that I'm willing to come back, but I won't be sharing my dresses anymore, especially my prom dress. They agreed, and we came to an understanding that I will continue taking care of my sister during their night shifts, making sure she's okay through the night. My parents seemed genuinely guilty and ashamed of how they handled things. We even had a family dinner where they cooked my favorite meal, and I could tell they were trying to make it up to me in their own way. The reason I chose to go back is practical. I don't pay rent and I don't have to worry about utilities. In exchange, I cook, clean, and babysit my sister. But it's still a pretty good deal compared to trying to make it on my own right now. I'm in college and I don't want the added stress of financial responsibilities. Until I'm able to work full-time, independence can wait. I want to keep my expenses low for now. Your parents are a-holes for kicking you out knowing fully well that you had nowhere to go. There are even bigger a-holes for not understanding why you didn't want to give your half-sister your prom dress when all she does is ruin everything you've lent her previously. I wish you could move out and just be away from them for a bit so they can appreciate and respect you more. But I also understand that you can't afford to do that. I'm glad they apologized to you and are trying to apologize for what they did in their own way. I hope they treat you better and I wish you well, OP. Take care. Story 2. Fiancé 24 male went to great lengths to hide spilled ash at my parents' house. In the process, he ruined a mattress and got an Uber without telling anyone. We've been together 4 years. My fiancé and I were staying at my parents' house. They don't really approve of us sleeping together in their house, so we stayed in separate bedrooms. We went to bed and I guess my fiancé decided it would be a great idea to smoke in my parents' house. It's not legal here. This itself isn't a huge deal as it's something I used to do. Probably not something I would do when staying at his parents' house, but whatever. From what I gather, this is what happened. Fiancé vaped a lot of weed and watched Netflix. I could hear him giggling through the wall at this point, and he wasn't checking his phone. Fiancé was collecting alcohol for later use. He didn't have anything to put it in, so he decided to hollow out my mom's display soap bar, put the alcohol in there, and cover it with foil he found in the closet. Obviously, this was a dumb idea. The alcohol spilled all over the bed after he laughed particularly hard. This is a rough estimate of what he did from what he's managed to tell me. He poured a bottle of water on the ash, and when that made it worse, he began to scrub the spot with a bar of hollowed soap. He forgot there was more alcohol in there, making it worse yet again. In the end, there was a concoction of dish soap, vinegar, window cleaner, and drain cleaner that soaked up into the mattress. The tiny spot of ash now led to a giant, soapy, sopping wet area that covered 1/4 of a king bed. Fiancé decided, high out of his mind, that his only course of action was to get an Uber and leave. He didn't tell me he was leaving, and we discovered this massive mess in the morning. He didn't answer his phone until an hour ago, and he sent me a text apologizing and saying that he panicked and would refund the mattress. He hasn't sent me anything else. I don't know what to do. He isn't replying to any of my texts or calls now. My parents are furious and telling me that I'm making a huge mistake to marry someone who would abandon me like that. Edit. Phone keeps changing ABV to Ash. Sorry for the confusion. No, I don't know why he didn't just wipe or dust it away like normal. Finally heard from my fiancé last night. He's coming over now to talk about it. I will update after that. Update. Well, some of you guys called it. My fiancé finally came over to discuss what happened. He broke down and told me that he got diarrhea all over the bed and was trying to remove it from the mattress. He had taken a bunch of laxatives earlier and was experiencing stomach pains, so he decided to smoke. Then he was apparently so high that he didn't realize he was shitting until he sat up. This made sense for a while until I remembered the marijuana he left at the foot of the bed. He started getting agitated when I asked about that and claimed it wasn't his. I honestly don't know why he would choose to lie about that because they were obviously his. He accused it of belonging to my 9-year-old brother. Before this, I wasn't so much mad as I was confused and embarrassed. It made me mad that he would accuse my little brother of that. He was out of the woods. My parents had forgiven him. I had forgiven him now that I understood better. Just so stupid. Anyway, he got extremely agitated and we had a big fight. He got physical with me, which he's never done before, because I opened the place where he keeps his stash. There wasn't just weed in there. It's been a really hard day. My eyes hurt from crying. Our relationship and wedding are over. I called his parents to tell them so that they could try to get him help. After he attacked me, I don't want to be the one to do that, but I hope he gets the help he needs from his family. I'm so sorry this happened to you, OP. On the other hand, I'm also very glad it happened, because if it didn't, you wouldn't have uncovered that there was a part of your fiancé that you didn't know of, and you wouldn't have called off the wedding. He seemed to be on something way stronger and worse than weed, and from his lying to him, trying to make your kid brother take the fall for his doings, and him attacking you, none of those behaviors scream someone that you want to walk down the aisle with and vow to spend the rest of your life with. Trust me, you dodged a bullet on this one. I genuinely hope your ex-fiancé gets the help he needs before things get worse for him. Now for some comments. I was hoping there was an update to this. He didn't shit the bed from laxatives. He was withdrawing from something that's definitely not marijuana. Sorry about the loss of your relationship, OP, but you're young and will bounce back from this. In time, it will be one of those distant, what the F memories that many of us have. Sorry, lady. Update was a roller coaster. I was relieved he had just pooped in the bed. But then the lying and the physical attack, such a dramatic turn. So sorry. Glad you're okay now though. Bullet dodged. This guy can't even keep his story straight. He has some serious issues to deal with. And the fact that he got violent proves he's not the type of person you want to be married to. Hope the best for you. I have some experience with opiate addiction. You have made the right choice to cut and run, even without him getting physical with you. It's a long, hard road, and it will be full of questioning everything he says. Not every addict is a thief or liar or a bad person. Not every addict's life falls apart, but the chance is so much higher that the gamble isn't worth it. I am so sorry you're going through this, OP. Much love to you, and best of luck. I hope your ex gets the help he needs. But it doesn't sound like he's ready yet. Don't let the guilt get to you. This is not your fight. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for giving chocolates to all but one in my workplace? I work in a small chocolate company. Our sales team of 11 were busy over Christmas and New Year because that's the best time to promote sales. During the day, we would run around the town, and in the evenings, we would stay in the office counting and preparing orders. And we would sometimes stay as late as 2 a.m. despite our working hours of 8 to 6. Maggie is the only one among us who did not stay after 6 p.m. during this period, as she has 3 children at home, and she also took 3 days off during Christmas to bring her family to her hometown. While I don't judge her for that, it is apparent that she did not contribute as much to the company during the festival period as the rest of us. Since the busiest time is over, I felt that I should show appreciation for the team for the hard work and bought 9 boxes of rather expensive, even for staff purchase, imported chocolates from the company. I gave every one of them a box with the New Year wishes, except for Maggie. Not a grudge or whatever, I just felt that it would be unfair for the others if I give it to her too. Maggie has been complaining about it, saying that I was being unfair and punishing her, when she worked just as hard, if not harder than the rest of us, to balance work and family during this period. My other colleagues have split opinions about this. Some said that I'm free to do whatever with my money, and she shouldn't demand it. I'm not manager, by the way. The others said that it is bad for team spirit to single her out, and I should be more considerate for a mother of 3. Am I the a-hole? To add, I have nothing against Maggie. It is just that all of us worked very hard over the past weeks, and I think by giving it to her too kind of demeans the act of appreciation for the other 9 who sacrificed their own holiday and family time to work. Now for some comments. And none for Gretchen Wieners by You're the a-hole. Sounds like a really bad way to sow discontentment in your personnel. Also, she was doing exactly what she got paid for. Also, your bosses are the a-hole for having all of you put in a full extra shift after your first one is done. And you're the a-hole for thinking that's okay and should be encouraged. You're the a-hole. You claim you weren't trying to punish her, but that is what you ended up doing. By excluding her from your gifts, you singled her out, shaming her for choosing to be with her family instead of volunteering to work overtime. You very clearly sent the message that you think she is worth less than everyone else, and that makes you an a-hole. You're the a-hole. She worked 10 hours a day. She did exactly as much work as she was supposed to, and by purposely excluding her, you're just being a bully. Guess what? She will definitely never do now. Stay late. Because why would she? You've already shown that you don't appreciate her efforts or consider her part of the team, so even if she does have time to help now, she won't offer. It was Christmas and she's a mother of 3. No way should anyone expect her to stay until 2 a.m. Those are choices that you made for yourself.